Hello, I'm David Brower. I'm the director of the Sales Institute at West Virginia University. We are the fastest growing sales institute in the country at this point. We have a few years ago, just a little over 100 or so students taking sales classes, and this year we'll have 575 sales students taking classes, and probably within the next 2 years we'll plateau around 1,000 students a year taking sales classes. I'm happy to be here.
So what's unique about your sales center and program?
Well, we do a lot of buzzword things. Actually, people will talk about engaged learning or experiential learning. And last semester we did a beta test with a project where we used Zoom info to prospect for ideal clients or people who'd want to engage with the Sales Institute. And then, we used LinkedIn to send out DMs and emails, and then we followed up and had the students do prospect cold calls with them, and then solicit sponsorships or engagement with the Sales Institute. And so within the first 2 weeks of that project, the students, just a few students were able to raise about $11,500 for the Sales Institute and got a lot of excitement and engagement. So we've decided to expand that type of program this semester. And this semester, we are raising money for foster care. It's called the Children Youth Services of West Virginia in Morgantown, West Virginia, and a few other nonprofits, as well as engaging with the startups in our incubator labs to help them with initial traction. So when our students graduate, hopefully they will have, great stories to tell about the real world projects they worked on while they were in our classes.
And then you mentioned your excessive growth, which is awesome. What do you think has contributed to that growth over the past few years?
A lot of these students, our sales students in the sales team are able to talk about a lot of their experiences. And, the ICSC and the NCSC sales competition specifically have great career fairs that allow our students to engage, as well as the sponsors that we have at the Sales Institute who are able to put up some pretty nice job offers for these students. And I think the other students in the business school hear about how well students can actually do with a sales career. And I think that starts to pique their interest.
And do you host competitions at your school as well?
We host a fall competition. This past year, we did a Fastenal only invitational. They're one of our main sponsors, and they've been a sponsor of our Sales Institute from the very beginning. They're also the named sponsor of our sales team. Our sales team is actually called the WVU Fastenal Sales Team. And so we host a Fastenal only invitational for them where they're the only sponsors who are basically recruiting the students. So it's nice for them because they have a captive audience, and really nice for the students because a lot of the schools are already working on the Fastenal projects. And then we're doing internal competition in the spring here with another one of our sponsors. Well, actually, with two of our sponsors, we do two more. We do one with American Cast Iron Pipe, and we do another one with Megacore Logistics.
And do you see any big changes coming to your program in the next year or two?
We're trying to stay on track with the growth. So I really liked when we were out at Cal State Chico. I liked that they had the sales ambassadors for their Sales Institute, and so we've this year just brought on a couple of student sales ambassadors for the Sales Institute who are helping to organize and reach out to other students and really connecting with our AMA chapter. And so I guess the changes that are coming is we're trying to streamline and break down some silos that are traditional in higher ed specifically, but also a little bit of those silos that are out in the corporate world, and try to get the whole system to work together.
What do you see as advantages to your membership with USCA?
The USCA has been an amazing network for our university and for our sales program, but it's also been great for me personally to get to meet other people like yourself and other heads of programs to find out what best practices are. And every time I've been able to connect with somebody and reach out and learn something new and take a great piece away that they have for their program, And so really trying to learn best practices and then bring those back to West Virginia to implement those. So, you know, that type of thing, the meetings that we have where we have uh, access to like the bomb email software, we use that pretty extensively. The Salesforce, now we've just implemented Zoom info. And so, you know, really trying to take away best practices and engage with that. So USCA has been amazing for that.
And what do you feel you provide back to the USCA?
You know, I try to provide some of the things that we're doing that are unique to our program, and you know, kind of this social outreach and raising money for charities is something that I'll be able to highlight and share with people, and so I think that networking and bringing our students and our best practices and what we're doing there should also be of benefit to the others in the USCA. I find it to be a very collegial environment, and, which is funny because I don't actually find that to be true of all higher ed.
Okay. And is there anything else you'd like to communicate about your program or the involvement of the USCA or just advice to students?
You know, I guess if anything, it's when you're an undergrad and when you're looking at different programs to engage with, if you're on the fence about whether you should or not, you definitely should. I think that all of us, no matter how old we are or where or when we went to school, maybe wish we could have been a little more engaged, or at least I do. And had an opportunity like this been there, I would have hoped to think that I would have taken advantage of it. So the more students we can get involved in this, the stronger the programs become. The stronger the programs become, the more people get interested, and you know, we can engage with bigger, better sponsorships that will allow us to do even more. The USCA is a best practices of all of those things, and I've really met some of the most amazing people who have come from a broad array of backgrounds, but all have very great insights to bring to sales education.